Okay, so Chief Pontiac. So he was an Indian chief in Michigan, and he was of the Ottawa tribe. He was born 1720 on the Maumee River, now in Ohio. Died April 20th, 1769, near the Mississippi River at present-day Cahokia, Illinois. Ottawa Indian chief who became a great intertribal leader when he organized a combined resistance known as the Pontiac's War, 1763 to 64, to British power in the Great Lakes region. Little is known of Pontiac's early life, but by 1755 he had become a tribal chief. His commanding manner and talent for strategic planning enabled him to also become the leader of a loose confederacy among the Ottawa, the Potawatomi, and the Ojibwa. In 1760, he met Major Robert Rogers, a British colonial ranger, on his way to occupy Mackinac, St. Agnes, Michigan, and other forts surrendering by the French during the French and Indian War of 1754 through 63. Pontiac agreed to let the British troops pass unmolested on condition he be treated with respect. He soon came to realize, however, that under the British rule, his people would no longer be welcome in the forts, and that they would ultimately be deprived of their hunting grounds by aggressive settlers encroaching upon their ancestral land. Thus, in 1762, Pontiac enlisted support from practically every Indian tribe from Lake Superior to the lower Mississippi for a joint campaign to expel the British. In what the English called Pontiac's conspiracy, he arranged for each tribe to attack the nearest fort on May 1763, and then to combine to wipe out the undefeated settlements. The shrewd and daring leader elected to capture Detroit himself, and it is for this military action that he is particularly remembered. When he carefully laid plans for a surprise attack May 7th, were betrayed to commanding officer, he was forced to lay siege of the fort. On July 31st, Pontiac won a brilliant victory at the Battle of Bloody Run, but besieged fort was nevertheless able to receive reinforcements, and on October 30th, Pontiac withdrew to the Maumee River. Pontiac's larger plans was more successful. On the 12 fortified posts attacked by the United Tribes, all but 4 were captured. Most of the garrisons were wiped out. Relief expeditions were nearly annihilated, and the frontier settlements were plundered and laid desolate. By 1764, continuing British action began to take its toll. However, Pontiac finally agreed to conclude a treaty of peace in July 1766. 3 years later, while he was visiting in Illinois, a Peoria Indian stabbed and killed him. So he was murdered basically by another Indian. It says his death occasioned a bitter war among the tribes, and the Illinois group was almost annihilated by his avengers. Ottawa, Algonquian-speaking North American Indians whose original territory focused on the Ottawa River, the French River, and the Georgian Bay, in present northern Michigan, U.S., and southeastern Ontario and southwestern Quebec, Canada. According to tradition, the Ottawa, Ojibwa, and Potawatomi were formerly one tribe, having migrated from the northwest and separated at what is now Mackinac, Michigan. The earliest known location of the Ottawa was on the Manitoulin Island. The Ottawa were widely known as traders. Their location and negotiation skills enabled them to become middlemen in the intertribal commerce. Their canoes traveled as far as Green Bay, Wisconsin, and as far east as Quebec to buy and sell such merchandise as cornmeal, furs, sunflower oil, mats, tobacco, and medicinal herbs. Before colonization by the French and English, Ottawa were semi-sedentary, living in agricultural villages in summer and separating into family groups for winter huts. Planting and harvesting crops were women's occupations. Hunting and fishing were the responsibility of men. Ottawa villages were sometimes palisaded for protection. In the late 17th century, The tribe comprised 4 or maybe 5 major divisions, which were subdivided into local bands. They were believed to have several clans distributed among the bands, attacked by the Iroquois. The Ottawa fell. Some joined the Potawatomi at Green Bay, others dispersing throughout the lower peninsula of Michigan, Wisconsin, and northern Illinois. Early 21st century population indicated about 14,000 individuals of Ottawa descent. Okay? So that's what they wrote about Chief Pontiac, is that he was basically fighting against the British, and that he had allowed the British to come through his territory just as long as his people was being treated humanely. So the British, once they decided to not treat the Indians humanely by trying to stop them from hunting in their own lands, that's when he went and he fought back. So he was a very brave man. And this is who the car company that is now done away with, Pontiac, is named after him. And the city in Michigan is named after this man. Talented rapper DDG, he's from the city of Pontiac, and his channel is called PontiacmadeDDG. And I love his song called Elon Musk, as well as his other songs that he has. You guys should check out his music. It's pretty dope. Anyways, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell.